further flesh out this character, but it's really hard because you have to be given a situation and you have to think from their perspective, like, oh, how would they react? You know? So I think
Yeah.
by having like more opportunities for character development really helps us ourselves also find out like, oh, who they are as a person, how what kind of actions they would
Yeah.
take.
Fine tune our character.
I
Yeah,
think that's only fine.
also to add to the combat and the things that happen, like the world has a pace, right? Like you can't, not a lot of things happen right away. Like if a war is gonna happen, there's gonna be like time that people need to set up, people need to
prep,
prepare.
yeah.
Yeah, so like
Uh-huh.
these world events that kind of shape your characters, they take a lot of time. That's why we use a lot of time skip. If there's a time skip studying or whatever you can, that to yeah, it's just explaining a bit about the nature of like D&D. And then Dana or Sandy.
Sandy, you want to go first, or?
Okay, yeah, I'll go. I really enjoy the role playing. I love it. I love role playing. It's so much like so fun, and it makes everything so funny, and like everyone's like enjoying and laughing at the same time. I like that. I really like that. And then we have to think of different ways, as Kenny said, like opportunities of character development too. I think that's also important. That I think that was really enjoyable right there. Like finding like what he said, um finding what your character would think of instead of like yourself.
Mhm.
It's like acting in a like sort of way. And let's see, I also like the plot too. I like how it's going through right now. Like the blue wisp, I already know, like it's like the traces of the blue boar. Like I know myself, but like Rin probably doesn't know what the fuck Ishin's saying, you know? Yeah, like I have clues of like myself, like where the story is going, and I want to know what's gonna happen next.
Yeah, and I actually like the pace of the storyline too because it's I feel like it's starting to pick up just from one because there's so much development going on.
And we all like there's like storyline of the world, there's storyline of like Noon, there's storyline of like Rin's dreams, there's like 4 different like plot lines at once.
Yeah.
And
One
Dana?
thing I
go ahead.
No, go ahead. Eating? Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, I think I don't think it's like maybe because I'm still new to this game, I'm still new to D&D, but I still there's like because it's really nice because I think because the way the way you crafted the whole story and how there's like so many overlapping plot lines, it makes like you would just want to participate in all of them. Like you want to like crack down like the cause of all these like plots and why the world is happening the way it is. So I was just like, oh my god, like maybe because I'm so excited to like get down to these plots. I'm like, damn, I forgot that we still have to spend like a day or two, looking at oh, like we need to like work on our ninjutsu and we're like level 2, we're approaching level 3. Like we need to like up our combat because it just seems like the way how the progression of the story is going, the combat will only get like harder and harder. That's just like my own thing, like finding the balance of like deciding, and I think that's like the most realistic element part of this game is like deciding like, oh, should we take like a day or two to work on our ninjutsu, or do we move on and like head out to the next mission to
I like that freedom where like it's like a game where it's like, oh, you turn either left or right. Like there's so many other possibilities.
Just like barging into the barracks and attacking a random squire.
Yeah. Freaking Ishin.
And then Rin and Tomoharu like having a meltdown when they would be the last one to have a meltdown. They're like, my arm. They're like, someone help this girl.
That was really funny. I like that part.
I thought that part was so good because I felt like when I was like writing Tomoharu, like I want him to be like a very sweet and like a very earnest but also very catty person.
Yeah.
Like it kind of like a mix of like a good guy, like reminds me of like Tanjiro, but also he can be like a little bit kind of like a dickhead, kind of like extreme like Goro.
Yeah, like
And then that where the parts where like he would play into their jokes.
Yeah, I just liked you know how Ishin almost died? Like you just gave him the pat in the back, like, or like not pat, like a like knockdown on his back, like,
That's bad.
oh, you almost died there, you son of a bitch.
I was like, right. I was like, because I thought like in Tomoharu's head, it's like, fuck, man. If he dies, I'm like, what do we do about Moon?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, for me, I think Sandy explained it really well. I liked the storytelling that's like driven by like my or our imagination. I really like that aspect of it. Oh shit! Did I leave?
No, that's the BGM.
One of the bot.
The bot.
I thought I disconnected. Yeah, lots of like role playing. Role playing was really nice. I think the fighting was also fun. But I don't like it more than like us role playing. Like I really like it when it's like unexpected too. Like for example, if we go back to like the previous sessions where we were still in the cave and then there's that part with like Rin and Tomoharu looking through like the like drawn circle.
Mhm.
Yeah, that part was like really cool.
Yeah.
And I feel like like when playing with Brad, we never had that. It was always
Yeah.
like
It
fight
was
after
flat.
fight after fight.
Or it's
after
like
fight.
yeah, it wasn't like there was no in-depth, like no development.
Literally so troll. I felt like we didn't have like we would have like this like
No meaning.
yeah, no meaning, and then we'd be stuck. And we'd just be
Yeah,
stuck forever. Right?
And
but
I'll-
now I feel like there's a flow, you know? Like
Yeah.
everything is
And
just moving. What were we gonna say, Kenny?
oh, one thing I also like about our combat style is that like there's like a purpose in why we fight. We're not just like picking a fight, you know?
Yeah,
Because it's so
yeah.
easy to like
Yeah.
pick a fight, but if we're picking a fight,
Yeah,
it's like meaningful
I
and
agree.
it advances us either in form of character development or in our own combat prowess or just like the story as a whole. And I feel like that's one thing. Yeah, I agree with Diana. It's like, oh, I'm glad that it's not just us just picking one fight after another, like fighting people, you know.
Can I
And
add
I think
on?
like, yeah, let's go for it.
So like just like when we played with Brad, he'd just be like, "Hey yo, that guy, let's fight him."
I
Roll
don't.
initiative.
Like, you have to think about the consequence, you know? Like,
Yeah,
he'd be
yeah.
like, yo, freaking, let's knife this guy right now.
Yes,
Ex-
You know?
Yeah,
Oh my god.
That's
And
that's the
then
thing. Like when you play with people or newer players, like because it feels like a video game, and like video games, like if you're like playing like Skyrim or whatever, like you see an NPC, like you can just fight him and like you're fine. Like, you can, yeah. So it's good when like everyone's considering about their effects, their consequences on their actions.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
it'd be really cool. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
Because then we're
Just
trying to
finish that?
figure out, like, for Tomoharu, right? We're trying to figure out, like, what he actually needs to become a leader. Like, wouldn't it be cool if we went through, like, exams to, like, find our rank, you know? I don't know. I feel like that'd be, like, a cool thing to play out. But I don't know how to, like, add it in. You know, like, you know how Naruto had, like, the Genin exam, stuff like that? You know? I don't know.
You guys somehow find your way to school.
No, not like a school system, just like participate within
to get our
like,
license.
Oh,
The
like
license.
defining moments, right? Are you talking about like defining moments that would like make them into a leader?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
like
think I think that would be really cool too, because
like it like stuff like will shape Tomoharu to become more of like a leader. I feel like he's just like trying to learn knowledge, but he's like going aimlessly, like currently. Yeah.
Because like at the end of the day, he needs to become a leader. he has to like become a leader in order to actually
He
reform,
needs to
like
get his
to
degree.
rebuild his village.
Proof that he's a professional leader.
You just can't have something like a nobody like rebuild something and try to become Hokage with like literally nothing to back him up, right?
Or maybe he's just meeting all these people and they're like, based on their experiences, they're like, wow, this guy's a great guy. And they're gonna bring the word around.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Something that like shapes Tomoharu a little bit. And I feel like with Rin, like, do you eventually want to like rekindle your relationship with like your village, or
That's Rin's plan.
okay?
Yeah, I'm a bit conflicted on Rin because like in the village there's like awesome roleplay. Like you can have like, there's NPCs for Tomoharu and there's NPCs for like Ishin, like Moon and all the other folks. But there isn't really anybody to kind of talk to Rin besides the other players.
Mm-hmm.
Which it kind of makes sense because Rin is like this new girl who's kind of she's like lost and doesn't really have much people besides her two like other player characters. Like that kind of makes sense, but then at the same time, like there's not a lot of areas for Rin to explore in the village.
I think eventually, once she's mastered her, or she's able to feel comfortable with her powers, maybe she'll come back.
Oh, it doesn't even have to be like just like rekindling your like relationship with the village. It can be like a different goal, a different purpose, right? That you think Rin would like want or like need. Yeah. I think that's just like around and like tell Chung so he can like develop other NPCs for you specifically.
And then do you guys like dislike anything? I'm having issues because how do you guys feel about like helping you guys? Because sometimes like I feel like I give you too much of a hint towards a certain like towards the answer. Like, do you guys feel that at all, or?
I didn't even know.
I don't. I mean,
wasn't even
I know
aware.
you do give help, but then at the end of the day, it does feel like the consequences in this game feel very real. So whether you give help or not, there is always another form of consequence. Because I felt like one big decision we had to make was like after we failed to track down the board user, right? It was like I would say like for the three of us in terms of like mission wise and Tomoharu's character, I felt like that was like kind of like a big decision because he didn't actually fully resolve the issue because whoever was destroyed the town is still on the loose. But it was kind of like they're just temporarily like resolving that, like putting a band-aid over the situation that, hey, we stopped the boars from coming to this town, right? But the foreigners are still an object of question, and also whoever on the loose and whoever's like still using like, and whoever's controlling the boars. I think that there's still like that, that sense of like actual consequences.
Okay.
Yeah, that's in the back of our heads. So.
Yeah.
Actually, I feel like. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say it's a concept in like dungeon mastering. It's called railroading. It's where you disregard your PC's actions and you just take the story like into like a certain direction no matter what. And it's a thing hard to plan around. Like it's hard to make it feel free enough, but at the same time help you guys and make it feel like it's your own choice. It's
What is it called?
It's called railroading. Railroading. Yeah.
Okay. I'll tell you.
Like making sure we stay on track, basically, right?
Yeah, but like him having like a planned story within his head, but if we don't follow it, he like blocks every single path until we actually go.
Yeah, that's railroading. That's something that like I know like DMs that are really good on Twitch and they do that a lot. But then my favorite DM, he doesn't railroad at all. So that's my goal is to be kind of like as free as possible.
Flexible.
Okay, I'll let you know when I think you're railroading and whether or not like how I feel about it. Like during the middle of the game, so I'll try to pay attention to it more.
But one thing I would like to see a little bit more would be like I want to like even make it even more apparent that like the decisions that we make do have consequences, whether it's like big or small, but it's just like besides just our character thinking about it and us like internally knowing that like let's say if Tomoharu's parents does move out, right? So his parents could be attacked on the way, or they're whatever the village that they're going to might not be fully armed yet. So I want to make like every character like in this game to make like a very decisive like the decision that they make is like decisive, like okay, this is our decision, we're gonna stick by it, we're gonna haul ass.
Yeah, that's why I'm salty that I lost my calendar, because when I play situations outside of the game, I'm rolling for it too. So like if like troops are being sent this way, like I'm rolling if the troops do well or if they get attacked, or there's there's consequences for rushing into the barracks as well.
Oh, and one more thing, like what Diana said, because right now I'm kind of like modding my character after me personally. I think it would be cool if like each character in like the next coming sessions is to have like what Diana said, like a defining moment of them to like step up to the plate. Because right now it's kind of it's like only their first mission. But I think that, like down the line, because with the whole progression and everything, I think like having more moments for them to step up to the plate so that they could really like, shine.
Yeah, I just think that's a thing. I feel like I've seen it before in like games, but it's very rare because like it's not because the time progression and like how you guys are in the world, like how you guys fit in the world, right? So say you're like you're gaining level, like maybe you're doing more heroic things and you're stepping up more when you're like higher level. So it takes a lot of time when you get to that stage and you're
so you have to wait till we're like higher level?
That makes sense because I guess like we're all kind of like weak right now.
Yeah.
We don't like everything you can do. You can literally die. Like we can literally die. That's why.
No, look at everybody else. That's fucking like 5 HP. What the hell? How much HP do you guys have? 8, 7 HP? Okay, wait. So, did we ever get the EXP?
Oh yeah, it's 166 for everybody.
Is that already divided by 3?
Shouldn't Ishin get more?
Yeah, because he's the one who actually defeats.
He defeats it, but for party's sake, we just divide it equally.
Yeah. I'm okay with just like the division. I don't want to be like higher level or anything either.
Okay, how much?
We're almost there. We're almost level 3.
How much is it?
166.
166?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
I think this is probably one of our most like successful D&D campaigns.
True, it's been consistent.
My rolls are still shit.
That's true.
We played longer, right, with David?
20 charisma.
David? Oh.
We played long with David, the one with Naomi who died.
Yeah, I think so.
But that one wasn't as memorable as this one.
Yeah. Maybe because
I think like back then we were going like dick sizes and like attractiveness.
Well, I believe rolling dick size is natural. It's a coming of age for D&D players.
Can you guys roll?
You're freaking rolling. You're rolling boob size and dick sizes.
Roll for Ishin and Tomoharu right now.
No.
Please.
No.
Wait, roll. How do you even roll that? Do you want 100?
It's a D.
What the hell?
I think it's 3D4. 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 3D4 for you.
What?
3D4.
3D4. Oh my god. Tomoharu.
Pretty good.
The other. There you go. We're coming of age for D&D players. And now you're gonna roll your boob size, Sandy.
GG. What was that?
3, 4.
I don't know how to
Three.
calculate that. He did
Okay.
3. We were rolling attractiveness too. Oh my god.
No, dude, it's not.
I'm confident in Tomoharu's attractiveness, so
No.
Yeah, attractiveness you can pick. You can pick your attractiveness.
Okay, let's all pick each
Uh,
other. 1 out of 10. What do you think? Tomoharu is.
I'm gonna give
Tomoharu.
Tomoharu's a 10.
Tomoharu has to be like a 9 because he's like he
Goro,
really talks to everyone.
True, Gojo is freaking.
Gojo, man, lady killer.
Dude. True. He is a lady killer. Okay, I'll give it a 9.5 out of 10.
you know you can roll your stats to 3d6 for attractiveness.
Dude, no.
No, we get to
Way
pick it,
higher.
dude.
No, let's pick it.
Yeah, you can pick it. You can pick
No,
it.
8. That comes close.
That's the average roll.
Dude, I got like below average ones. I was like a 3. I was like I think it was that one half demon, half beast girl. I've already
Yeah, I think you got a 3. Everyone was looking at you strange everywhere you went.
Fucking deranged and shit.
True. I'll give myself a solid. What's below average? I don't think Ishin is that attractive. I'll give him a 7.
I'll just say he's average, yes. 6, 7.
Yeah, like a 7.
Yeah.
Rin.
Well then.
Rin is still a baby. I don't think you could rate her on attractiveness yet.
God. Fucking minor.
Dude, why'd you make Rin a 14-year-old, dude? It's kind of.
Dude,
Dude,
she's supposed to be younger.
Wait, can you just make her like 18 just so she's legal or something? I feel like she would look so good. Similar, like she gives me like Nezuko vibes.
True.
Well, you guys have
Okay,
to
yeah,
time
just-
skip 4 years.
Dude, we can do a
Oh,
time
God.
skip. What
Time
happened?
skip 4 years.
True.
What,
like
4
president.
years?
No, I was just joking, Sam. Say whatever you want. Alright, dude, are we done?
Oh. Yeah, I also want to add
Yeah.
that I like Trung's NPC. Like, he gives like different tones to each of them. I like that.
True.
I like
I
that.
think
Very
he's
unique.
gotten better at it, man.
Mm-hmm. Dude, I always can't help but laugh. Like, when the Jom does the Yanagi tone, and I'm like, I feel like,
Don't make get goosebumps.
No, it sounds so funny.
Dude,
How
you
is
sound
it
trans.
funny?
You sound trans.
because I feel like when I hear Jom use the Yanagi
Because-
tone, I feel like I have to do something similar. I don't know why. Just because like Tomoharu and Yanagi has like that. Like, yeah. If this interests you.
Rin, Ishin. It's so good.
You're butchering my favorite NPC. How dare you butcher my favorite NPC? I'm done,
I
Dana.
am not butchering it. I am admiring it. Okay.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm
I'm
kidding.
admiring your technique and skill.
If I use a voice changer, Yanagi is my highest or my closest to highest pitch.
It's so good. Dude, honestly, I thought I was gonna die when I was fighting that Genin.
Well, I thought too, but until you pulled out like 14 damage in one turn.
That's true. I know, I actually thought I was gonna die. I didn't think I was gonna fall unconscious. Like, once I
Oh
hit
my god.
the-
Then he's gonna take your apprentice role.
Okay, alright, I'm done. I'm gonna leave now.
Alright.
Alright, good night,
Good
guys.
everybody.
Good night, guys.
Night.
Until next time.
Yep, till next time.
Episode. What's this? 5.
4? 5? Oh,